So did Apple really build a desk light? We're gonna find out. All right, before I get sued by Apple, I want to say they did make a light. I don't need that in my life, but I did. So what I did is I actually picked up a couple of these old chassis, and these are going to be, you can get these on eBay for about $10 to $20 each. They're all aluminum. There's a lot of uses possibly for them, and they're, you know, very, very strong aluminum units. So when I did that, I was just thinking, what can I do with these? And there's a lot of uses for these. I'm going to get into maybe a couple videos, maybe one more, maybe two more about uses of these things, because there is some fun uses for them. But this video is going to be all about, can I make a desk lamp out of this, an accent piece for my desk that's going to look cool at night, and something different that nobody else has. So I picked two of these up, and I don't know which is the best one. This is the old one. This is the newer one. I mean, this is still kind of old, but it's still a newer chassis. They haven't changed it much. And there's nothing inside. They're blank, both sides. So there's no computer in here. And there's a whole thing with this one, and it's, you know, getting this apart, and this one had some problems. So let me just show you what I did. We'll kind of start there, and then you tell me if it's worth it or not. Again, you can leave a bad comment if you want, but this is all in fun. So, you know, if you don't like it, I understand, but I'm just having some fun. I know most people aren't going to do this. You can pick up all the materials for like 20, 30 bucks. Is it worth it? You decide. All right, let's start with the older one first. I'm going to show you later in the video what this came out like, because I made a light out of it. The problem with this one is when you pick these up, they're made like a tank, number one. Number two, there's a bunch of pieces in here, and you can't see these probably. I'll show them up close in a second. But there's some metal pieces. There's also this plastic piece that's really sticky, and this actually was underneath this layer. So you have to peel all this off, which can get dangerous. Disclaimer, don't do it. If you cut yourself, it's not my fault. Pretty sharp, so stay tuned for that. But basically, this is what you get. And finally, this piece pops out. Yikes. Almost broke it there. It finally pops out, and you maybe can't see that, but you can see through it kind of. I put a piece of paper behind it because it was so sticky. So I finally get an end unit that you can actually get some light through, so you can actually see light through this. So it might turn out good, I don't know, because now the whole thing is a little bit visible of light. I could have done a better job. There's still a layer of glue on here, so it doesn't come through like super, you know, it's going to be blocked basically, so it's going to be mute. But we'll see. Let's see how this comes out. So that's the first problem with this one. So at the end of the day, what I did then is I created one out of this unit, which is the more solid one. This is the newer unit. And this unit had some problems in itself. So when you get this, there's this black, this is usually black. I don't know if anyone's noticed that. This is usually a black Apple logo. This one's pure see-through, and all that is that's an Apple sticker. I actually picked up an Apple sticker here, and I put it over this. Now, how did I get this to be white instead of blue? Well, the black, I'm sorry, instead of black. The black you can't see through. It's a plastic, it's very thick. I had to take a screwdriver or an X-Acto knife, cut around it, hit it with a hammer, and knock out the black part, number one. Number two, I had to actually then put the sticker over it because there was just a hole there. Now, you might like just the hole, but then you can see it kind of looks kind of stupid if you look through it. So the top of it's wide open. You can see it here, and we're going to fix that. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how that goes. But I think this is going to be the better choice for this. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you how these turn out. I'm going to show you a little bit about how I did them, very simply, and then we'll kind of go from there. So far, so good. Two different units. Let's see how we can make a desk lamp out of this. Let's go. All right, so here's the first one. This one wasn't the best. So this one, obviously, I tried to get some light through this plate. The issue was to get to this point, I had to peel off another part right here. You had to peel this off of that top plate, and it left a lot of glue and stuff on the back of it. Plus, there was two metal plates you had to remove. So overall, we're going to try this, but you know, it ended up causing some issues. I put a piece of paper over it so that the glue wasn't sticky. But let's go ahead and get into this, and let's try some of the lights now. All right, for the light itself, I went ahead and I picked up some LED strip lights. You can see them here. These are basically going to be, I'll have a close-up of that, but they're like $6 or $7. You can cut them, and they come in a wheel, and they actually have a color system here where you can click on buttons and make them any color you want. So you can actually cut this to any length you want. It comes in a wheel, and I have this attached just to an external battery, which works really good. So the external battery powers the LED lights. You can tuck this away or put it inside the light so that there's no cord involved at all. So it's cordless basically. And that's kind of cool. So you can unmove it around. Now it's not going to be perfect. I'm not going to like make this for a manufacturing type thing or anything like that. So I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to tie up all the loose ends on it. I mean, you guys can do all that if you want to do it. This is just an example of what you can do. So let's just go ahead and try this with both of these. We'll get into it and we'll see what the end result is. Is it even worth my time and effort? I do this for you. All right, so for the first one, after looking at this a little closer, I noticed that maybe the light wasn't coming through as much as I thought. It was barely coming through, and that could be a problem. So I tried the LEDs first. And with the LEDs, there wasn't a lot of bleed through. So the light, this is a light room, obviously, but even in the dark, it wasn't showing through too much. So when I put it all in there and I just wanted to do a test run, I looked at it and there was just a couple little lights here and there, nothing spectacular. So I had to go to plan B with this one. I happen to have an IKEA light laying around, and this is one you can pick up. You can find them on Amazon, just a light like this with a little switch. They're like $5 or $10. So I had this, and so I figured let's go ahead and try this one instead. The issue too was there was tons of glue on there and I couldn't get all the glue off, but the ultimate result kind of looks almost like a zebra pattern. I'll show it to you because I only removed some of the glue. So let's take a look how this one looks. End of the day, this is what the final result was. I used that IKEA light and I plugged it in. Again, this is not going to be the cordless one that I talked about, but it's an unusual look. I mean, obviously it's kind of cool, and in a dark room it looks really wild. So I kind of like this one. Obviously there's a lot of weird things going on with it because the glue's peeled in different areas. Tell me what you think. This one's kind of cool, and at the end of the day, like I always say, for 20 bucks or 25 bucks, not too bad. It might be a good accent piece for sure. This is the one that I really wanted to try. Now there's an issue here. It doesn't have a lot of bleed through. It just has that middle part and the top. So if you see the top here, if you look at it, it's wide open and there's nothing in there. Obviously there's no computer in there. So the good thing with this is I figured since it's got the open top and there's only a little bit on the front, and the front is got the Apple sticker like I told you before, it's got some bleed through there. The best thing I can do is maybe put the light shining towards the wall. So here's another picture how I kind of chopped that out and then I put the sticker over it. So that black, obviously that black is a really hard plastic, nothing would get through there. So I first, you have to chop that out so you have just a white area or a see-through area there. Otherwise no light will get through. And then I figured, we can try this with these and I'll point them kind of outward because these are the LEDs and they actually have a little bit of tape on the back of them and you can point them more towards the wall. But before I even did that, I said, let's just try the IKEA light first. So I went ahead and I first tried this one just to see what it would look like. And here's the results. So again, kind of a cool little light. It's got the Apple logo all coming through at night and a lot of the light in the back. So it's going to shine on the wall really nicely. You can see it here. So if you like a clean look, a white light only, then the IKEA light worked pretty good. But I really, really did want to try the LEDs. So this is not how I actually did it, but I want to show you. There's some stickiness here, but I faced the lights pointing backwards, like you can see here, with only a few pointing forward. And so what was the end result? Well, at first, really cool. It glows on the wall, and here's a blue look. But really, the beauty of this is because of the controller, you can go ahead and change it to all these different colors. And you can have them kind of smooth in and come in and fade out. Just a lot of different colors you can have with the Apple light. And again, it lights up the wall behind you no matter where you are. I'll have some of this in my videos coming up, so watch those. You can see it a little bit better. This is just an example, but overall, I do like this project. Came out really well for like 20, 25 bucks. Again, let me know what everyone thinks. Just having fun with everything. All right, so what do you think? Not too shabby, huh? At the end of the day, I mean, if you take a look at the lights, they work really well. They're simple to make. It's a fun project. Again, if you're an Apple hater, I understand. I mean, I'm going to get a lot of comments about people that hate Apple. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying you can do this with anything. It's just a hobby. If you want to fool around with stuff, have fun with it. These are systems you can buy for these pieces of metal for $10 and you're thinking, what can I do with them? There's a lot of uses for them. I'm going to get into that later. But for this, I wanted to do a desk light. If you were to buy that desk light, it might cost you about the same at, on Amazon if it was something else, someone else made it. So it's comparable. It's having some fun and doing something a little bit different, trying to make a different content. So let me know in the comments if you guys like this or not. Let me know if it was worth your time and effort and if you're going to try it as well. I hope everyone does give it a shot, although there'll be a run on the market for these things if this video takes off, which I'm guessing it won't. But so anyways, we'll find out. My sign off, I always say peace, so peace to everyone, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good start to your summer. Bye.